Good evening, distinguished members of the panel and ladies and gentlemen. I'm Saumya Edirisinghe, Advanced Diploma student of Biomedical Science at IIHS. So my research study based on knowledge and awareness on cervical cancer preventing vaccine among women in suburban areas in Sri Lanka. So these are my contents. Cervical cancer is the second most common cancer in the world. So more than 85% of cervical cancer deaths occur in developing countries. So as you can see in this figure, more than 85% of all cervical cancer deaths occur in low and middle income countries. So as you can see, less developed countries have higher death rates. But more than 80% of women in developing countries have not been adequately screened for this disease. And it says that screening with a simple vinegar test can save a woman's life. This research was done by doctors at Johns Hopkins University and the University of Zimbabwe. Moving on, more than 4,000 women die of cervical cancer in each year. In UK, 1 in 2 is diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. But there is an answer. There is a vaccine you could potentially prevent from getting HPV disease if you are getting vaccinated at the right time. And chances of survival, as you can see it doubled in 1970s. But it won't be possible if you are not aware about this HPV vaccine. So my objective was to assess the knowledge and awareness of cervical cancer and HPV vaccine, to assess the association between demographic variables and the awareness on cervical cancer and the HPV vaccine. So moving on to methodology. Our study was a descriptive and cross-sectional study using online questionnaire, and our sampling method was convenience sampling using suburban and urban women in Sri Lanka, and our population was age 14 to 39 years. 326 participants were answered to our questionnaire. Moving on to my results, 62.9 were from the age group 21 to 29, and 51.8 had advanced level education, 30.4 had undergraduate education. The awareness of disease was 51.2 know about the cervical cancers are common in Sri Lanka, but 39.9 of participants, they don't know the cervical cancers are common in Sri Lanka. Out of 326 participants, 193 did not know that HPV is the most common cause for cervical cancers. And 28% obtained information on HPV vaccine through healthcare professionals as well as the internet. Comparatively, occupation and the educational level played a key role in determining the awareness of HPV vaccine. So those who have worked in government sector with a good education, they showed more awareness of HPV vaccine. As you can see, 66.7 government sector people, they aware about this HPV vaccine. In our population, only 4% have been vaccinated, but not getting vaccinated was due to lack of knowledge. Only 9.2 knew about the correct dose of the vaccine, which is 3. And my discussion was respondents who work in the government sector had more awareness of HPV vaccine, and those who had a good educational background comparatively had a better knowledge on cervical cancer, and most common information sources were from the healthcare professionals and the internet. Only 4% was vaccinated from the sample population, and rest of weren't vaccinated due to lack of knowledge. So my conclusion was knowledge and awareness of disease was satisfactory among the population. Contrastingly, knowledge and awareness regarding vaccination was very low. So our recommendations are government need to have more awareness campaign in order to educate the public. Vaccination needs to start from young age, hence necessary funds need to be allocated to get the vaccine, and the health ministry need to step up with their policies to bring this HPV vaccination to all government hospitals, and this battle against HPV and cancer be won if simply everyone is vaccinated. So I would like to thank Dr. Saumya Edirisinghe, Dr. Nishant Silva for guiding me for being my supervisor, and Miss Renu and Mahi Pereira. And finally, I would like to thank my colleagues. This was a group research. Gauri Bandara, Eshan Dasanayaka, Malika Pereira, Anusha. I would like to thank all the participants making this study a success. And these are my references. Thank you.